What if I told you that the one thing holding you back from your true purpose is the part of yourself you've been avoiding your whole life? Sounds crazy, right? But Carl Jung believed that the key to unlocking your full potential isn't found in self-improvement books or endless motivation. It's hidden in your shadow. The shadow is the side of you that you reject, suppress, or are even ashamed of. But here's the truth. Your greatest strength lies in the parts of yourself you're afraid to face. And if you ignore your shadow, you'll never truly know who you are or what you're meant to do. So in this video, I'll show you how to unlock your shadow and use it to discover your life's purpose. Don't run from it. Embrace it. Because the moment you do, everything changes. Let's dive in. Number 1, accept that your shadow exists. The first and most crucial step in this journey is to acknowledge that your shadow exists. This might sound simple, but in reality, it can be deeply uncomfortable. Many people like to think of themselves as purely good, as if their negative thoughts, emotions, and impulses don't exist or don't define them. But the truth is, everyone has a shadow, a hidden part of themselves that contains suppressed emotions, fears, and instincts. Carl Jung famously said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." What does this mean? It means that the parts of yourself you refuse to acknowledge are still influencing your decisions, your reactions, and your entire life without you even realizing it. If you don't confront and integrate your shadow, you'll continue to make choices based on hidden fears and unresolved emotions, all while believing that external forces or fate are responsible for your struggles. The question is, are you willing to take responsibility for your shadow? Can you face the parts of yourself that you'd rather ignore? If so, you're on the path to true self-awareness and purpose. Number 2, pay attention to what triggers you. Have you ever met someone who instantly annoys you, even though they haven't done anything significant to you? Maybe it's the way they talk, their confidence, or their behavior in certain situations. But here's the truth. It's usually not about them. It's about you. Jung believed that what we dislike in others often reflects the qualities we suppress within ourselves. For example, if you find yourself furious at someone for being arrogant, it could be because deep down, you also have an arrogant side, but you've worked hard to hide or deny it. Or if laziness in others makes you irrationally angry, it might be because you have repressed your own need for rest, feeling guilty for taking breaks. Your intense emotional reaction to certain people or situations is a clue, a signal pointing straight to your shadow. Instead of brushing off these triggers or blaming others for them, take a step back and ask yourself, what is it about this person that bothers me so much? And more importantly, is there a part of me that I am rejecting? When you start to see your triggers as opportunities for self-reflection, you gain a powerful tool for self-awareness and personal growth. Number 3, observe your dreams. Jung considered dreams to be the language of the subconscious. Every night, your unconscious mind sends you messages, revealing thoughts and emotions that you might not fully process while awake. The images, symbols, and scenarios in your dreams are not random. They are direct communications from your deeper self. Pay close attention to recurring dreams or disturbing images that stay with you. Are there shadowy figures? Are you being chased? Are you acting out behaviors that you would never consider in real life? These dreams are reflections of your hidden desires, fears, and unresolved conflicts. One of the most effective ways to uncover the meaning behind your dreams is to keep a dream journal. The moment you wake up, write down everything you remember. Over time, you'll start to see patterns, and those patterns will give you clues about your shadow. Ask yourself, what is my subconscious trying to show me? If you take your dreams seriously, they can guide you toward discovering your true purpose. Number 4, journal without censorship. Most people have a carefully crafted self-image that they present to the world and even to themselves, but this curated version of you is incomplete. There are thoughts, emotions, and fears that you suppress because you believe they are wrong or unacceptable. This is exactly why shadow work requires brutal honesty. One of the best ways to access your shadow is through journaling, but not just any journaling. This must be an uncensored, unfiltered record of your deepest thoughts. Write down the things you wouldn't dare say out loud. The jealousy, the resentment, the anger, the fear, the things that make you feel ashamed. Don't judge yourself as you write. Don't filter or edit your words. Just let it all out. Why is this important? Because when you write without censorship, you bring your unconscious thoughts into the light. Instead of letting these hidden emotions control you from the shadows, you now have the power to process and integrate them. Over time, this practice will free you from self-deception and give you a clearer understanding of who you truly are. Number 5, look at your childhood wounds. Your shadow didn't just appear out of nowhere. It was formed over years, shaped by your childhood experiences, your environment, and the beliefs you were taught. When you were a child, you absorbed messages about what was acceptable and unacceptable behavior. Maybe you were told not to express anger, so you learned to suppress it. Maybe you were criticized for being too sensitive, so you buried your emotions. Every time you repressed a part of yourself to fit in or be accepted, that part became a piece of your shadow. These childhood wounds don't simply disappear as you grow older. They remain within you, influencing your reactions, your fears, and your choices. For example, if you constantly seek approval from others, it might stem from a childhood where love was conditional, where you had to earn acceptance by being good. If you have difficulty trusting people, it could be linked to a betrayal you experienced as a child. Healing these wounds requires deep self-reflection. Think back to your earliest memories of rejection, fear, or pain. What messages did you internalize? What parts of yourself did you push away to feel accepted? When you acknowledge these wounds and allow yourself to process them, you can begin to reclaim the lost parts of yourself. And when that happens, your future becomes clearer and you move closer to your true purpose. Number 6, take responsibility for your flaws. Blaming others for your shortcomings is the easy way out. It removes accountability and keeps you trapped in the illusion that your problems are someone else's fault. But real power begins when you take full ownership of your flaws, weaknesses, and mistakes. Instead of saying, "I can't help it, that's just how I am," challenge yourself with a new perspective. What if my biggest weakness is actually my greatest teacher? Every flaw you have carries a lesson. If you struggle with impatience, it might be teaching you the importance of self-control and resilience. If you constantly avoid confrontation, your flaw may be showing you the need to develop assertiveness. The moment you stop running from your imperfections and start using them as fuel for self-improvement, you begin to transform them into strengths. You stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstances and start shaping your own destiny. Personal growth starts with radical responsibility, because once you accept that your flaws are within your control, you gain the power to change them. Number 7, embrace the qualities you judge in others. This might sound counterintuitive, but it's one of the most revealing exercises in self-awareness. Think about the personality traits in others that irritate you the most. Do you strongly dislike people who are selfish, arrogant, or manipulative? If so, ask yourself, why do these traits trigger such a strong reaction in me? Often, the things we judge in others are aspects of ourselves that we've suppressed. Maybe you resent selfish people because you've been conditioned to always put others first, even at your own expense. But sometimes, a little selfishness is necessary to set boundaries and protect your energy. Perhaps arrogance bothers you, because deep down you struggle with self-doubt and seeing confidence in others reminds you of what you lack. Or maybe manipulation disgusts you because you've been taken advantage of in the past. But understanding how influence works could actually help you protect yourself. Your shadow isn't your enemy. It's a part of you that seeks balance. Instead of rejecting these traits entirely, consider whether integrating a controlled version of them could serve you. The goal isn't to become arrogant or manipulative, but to take the useful aspects of these qualities and apply them in a way that strengthens you rather than weakens you. Number 8, express your dark side in a healthy way. Many people suppress their dark emotions, believing that anger, jealousy, or the desire for control are inherently bad. But suppression doesn't make these feelings disappear. It only forces them to manifest in destructive ways. The truth is, your shadow isn't something to eliminate, it's something to channel. If you have intense anger, ignoring it won't make it go away. Instead, find a way to release it constructively through intense workouts, martial arts, creative expression, or even deep introspection. If you have manipulative tendencies, don't deny them. Instead, redirect them toward persuasion of leadership or strategic thinking. Great business leaders, politicians, and negotiators all understand human psychology, not to harm others, but to navigate complex situations effectively. Your dark side isn't the enemy. It's an untapped reservoir of power that, when controlled and directed, can be a force for growth, strength, and resilience. The key is to find an outlet that aligns with your purpose rather than letting your suppressed emotions control you. Number 9, surround yourself with people who challenge you. It's comfortable to be around people who agree with you, validate your opinions, and make you feel safe. But comfort doesn't lead to growth. If you only surround yourself with people who make you feel good, you're likely avoiding the hard truths about yourself. You need people who trigger your insecurities, question your assumptions, and push you to evolve. The moments you feel resistance, discomfort, or irritation towards someone often reveal the areas where you still have room to grow. Maybe you feel defensive when someone criticizes your work. That might indicate a need to develop greater confidence. Maybe you get frustrated when someone challenges your beliefs. Perhaps that's an opportunity to refine your thinking. This doesn't mean you should tolerate toxic people or seek out negativity. Instead, actively engage with those who force you to step up, think deeper, and become stronger. Growth is uncomfortable, but the right people in your life will challenge you in ways that lead to real transformation. Number 10, step into the fear. Your greatest fear is often the very thing blocking you from reaching your highest potential. Fear is a powerful emotion. It signals danger, but it also reveals where you have untapped potential. Most people avoid fear, retreating into their comfort zones, but this avoidance keeps them stuck in mediocrity. Ask yourself, what is it that truly scares me? Is it public speaking, rejection, failure, being alone? Whatever it is, that fear holds the key to your growth. Instead of running from it, lean into it. If you fear speaking up, practice it until it becomes second nature. If you fear rejection, put yourself in situations where you risk hearing no and learn to detach from the outcome. If you fear failure, realize that every successful person has failed countless times. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's a necessary step toward it. Your purpose isn't found in comfort. It's hiding in the very things you avoid. The more you step into fear, the more you realize that fear is nothing but an illusion meant to keep you small. Face it head on and you'll discover just how powerful you truly are. Number 11, integrate your shadow, don't fight it. This is the final and most crucial step. Stop trying to fix yourself. You are not broken. You don't need to eliminate the parts of yourself that you dislike. You need to integrate them. Carl Jung believed that true power comes from wholeness. Your shadow, the part of you that holds your fears, insecurities, and dark emotions, isn't something to be destroyed. When you suppress it, it controls you from the depths of your subconscious. But when you acknowledge it, understand it, and integrate it into your being, you become truly unstoppable. Owning every part of yourself, the light and the dark, makes you a complete and powerful individual. Your fears, your insecurities, your past mistakes, these don't make you weak, they make you human. The more you accept them, the more control you gain over them. Instead of spending your life fighting an internal battle, you transform into a person who embraces every aspect of themselves with confidence. That's what real strength looks like. Most people spend their entire lives running from their shadow, pretending it doesn't exist, but not you. You've made it this far, which means you're ready to face the truth most people are too afraid to confront. Your shadow isn't your enemy. It's the missing piece of your power, your potential, your purpose. But here's the thing. Understanding your shadow is just the beginning. If you truly want to master the hidden forces that shape your life, you need to go deeper. That's why I've put together an entire Carl Jung playlist on this channel, filled with insights that will completely change the way you see yourself. You don't want to miss it. And if you're ready to take things even further, to understand the power moves, manipulation tactics, and psychological strategies used by history's most cunning minds, then you need to check out the Niccolò Machiavelli playlist. Because once you learn how power really works, you'll never be controlled again. So, what's your next move? Will you keep running from your shadow or finally unlock the hidden side of your mind? The choice is yours. Click on the Carl Jung or Machiavelli playlist now and step into a level of power most people will never reach.